Hi, Julia Dean here with Culinary Works, and we're back with another great video series. And this one is all about veggies. So we're calling it Eat More Veggies. Everybody needs to eat more vegetables in their life, and that's something that's really important. So I wanted to give you a great recipe today, and this one is maple glazed roasted root vegetables. You know, kind of great really for the winter time to go with as a main meal for lunch or for any dish that you have at home. So let me tell you what we have here. So we have sweet potato, parsnip, which is kind of people call it the white carrot, delicata squash. You don't have to peel this one. I did peel it a little bit just to kind of see the difference. But anyway, this is a delicata squash. We have some regular white potato here. We have some some carrots and some beets. I just have the beets on the towel because beets are so kind of porous. So and we also have some regular butternut squash that's here that I bought that already pre-cut, just so it was a little bit of a time saver. But one thing when you do that, you have to really be careful that look at the date and really examine the squash, because sometimes it gets slimy kind of really quickly. So you really kind of want to be mindful of that and buy it when you know that it's going to be fresh. So one thing about this particular recipe is that you want to make sure that your vegetables are going to be relatively about the same size when you put them on your sheet tray, so that they cook relatively evenly, and then that way things don't get burnt, or they cook basically about the same rate. So the delicata here, let's see. So we'll just cut this into rings just like this. Okay, that's probably good. I want to be able to fit everything on the tray. And we have the little seeds in the middle here. I'm just gonna kind of get those out there right in the, there we go. A couple of the seeds really don't matter, like pumpkin seeds actually, so. All right, so we'll cut those in fours. I'll get these all on the tray. The delicatas have a great, kind of nutty flavor. So we have some white potato. Now, if you wanted to add like something like turnips to this, because you kind of like, your family likes turnips, you could obviously add something like that as well. You could add rutabaga, that's kind of another kind of funky other, type of vegetable. Put the white potato on there. We'll add our carrots. Some big pieces of carrots here. So these are going to bake in the oven, I'd say at about 425, 400 if you're using convection. Usually when I do convection, I take it down about 25 degrees. We've got our carrots. And then while they're roasting in the oven, let me get the beets on here. While they're roasting in the oven, then we'll go ahead and make our glaze. And the glaze really is just going to be a little bit of butter and then a little bit of maple syrup. And then we'll kind of cook those in a pan till they get nice and warm. And then when the vegetables come out, we will go ahead and glaze them with the root veg with the mix. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. All right, so looks pretty good. We've got some good color here. We're going to season these real quick. Oh, sorry, I forgot the sweet potato here. Yep, gotta remember that one. It's nice and dense. I want to say you can have your kids help you with this, but these root vegetables are so dense that cutting them, you have to really be careful. I remember when we had our kids camp with the kids, and they always wanted to obviously do everything, and I was always nervous with the sweet potato because it's just so dense. And I was like, oh, I don't want them to cut themselves. But I will say they were so good by the end of the week, right? They were awesome. Yeah. Okay, so let's season this up here so you kind of see what we're doing. Now for this, I'm just going to use regular olive oil. I'm not going to use extra virgin for this particular one. So see here, this is just a regular wine bottle that I bought a spout with at any of your stores. Okay. So it definitely does need a decent amount of oil there, because remember, there's no oil on these at all. So good sprinkles of salt, maybe one more. Okay, some pepper. Now, if you wanted to put something on here like smoked paprika, if you wanted to put on here something like cumin, or, for all you turmeric lovers, if you wanted to put turmeric on here, you could do that as well. I am going to mix them up at this point. I know we didn't have a mix initially, and it was kind of like they were in their own little group, but that's all right. I'm going to make a big mixed bag here. Okay, so one really important thing is that with this roasting pan here. We can see it's nicely, evenly spread out, right? They're not double layered, they're not sitting on top of each other. This is what you're looking for, just something just like this, okay? If they're double layered, then they're gonna be steamed and they're not gonna brown and cook very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these in the oven. Now they're seasoned well. I see the salt, or I don't see the salt, but I see the oil. I see some nice pepper. We'll go ahead and put them in the oven. I would say we're gonna check that we're gonna take between 20 and 30 minutes at 425. Hi, so the vegetables are done roasting and they look awesome. They've been sitting for a little while. And we're gonna put on our glaze. So remember, this was just the maple syrup and the butter, and we're just gonna paint them, you know, kind of just like this. And then once the maple syrup and the butter have kind of melted together, I let them sit for a couple minutes. Let it sit just for a few minutes because it allows it to kind of not be so hot and kind of like almost thicken up a little bit and kind of emulsify. So you can put on as much or as little as you want. I think we're kind of good here. And then we'll go ahead and put them in a little serving bowl here. This is one way to get your kids to try, you know, some other vegetables that normally they maybe wouldn't, right? Because you're putting this little maple butter glaze. I would take that, right? If they don't normally eat vegetables, but they're going to try it this way, I'd say that's a win, right? We're also challenged with our kids sometimes, right? And their eating habits. Let's get this in a pan, a little pretty bowl here. See all the nice colors. I mean, it's, you know, kind of like nature's candy, right? All that. A nice mix there. And that's a great side dish for, you know, the holiday time. I think kids would look at that and kind of think it's appealing. Obviously adults too, but, you know, kids certainly. All right. One last roast these veggies here. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look. It looks good, right? It looks pretty. So let's see. Take a bite here. I think I got a little carrot and butternut squash. Oh, it's great. Just that little subtlety of the maple syrup with the creaminess of the butter. It's delicious. So hoping this is a nice solution for you guys to try to get more vegetables into your diet, right?